The truth about why Twi'leks are so attractive lies deeper than the obvious. That's why we've compiled 5 main traits that make Twi'leks impossible to ignore. First, their exotic beauty creates an irresistible visual impact. Twi'leks have something rare in the galaxy, the perfect mix of what feels familiar and what feels new. Their humanoid shapes make them approachable and easy for humans and near-human species to relate to. At the same time, their unique features set them apart from every other species in ways that always draws attention. The most striking part of their appearance is their wide range of skin colors, which often look so bright and vivid that they seem almost unreal. Blue-skinned Twi'leks, like Jedi Master Aayla Secura, became famous for their glowing presence. During the Clone Wars, her appearance on battlefields left deep impressions that went beyond her strong skills as a commander. Green Twi'leks give off a completely different feeling. Their shades of emerald can shift from dark forest green to shining jade, creating a natural vibrancy that suggests life and growth. The dancer Ula showed this perfectly. Her skin glowed with a beauty that seemed not of this world, enchanting not just Jabba's court, but also every being who ever watched her perform. But perhaps the most legendary of all are the red Twi'leks, called Lathans. These crimson-skinned Twi'leks are extremely rare, with fewer than 1% of the population showing this color. Meeting a Lathan like Darth Talon is an unforgettable experience. Their rarity only increases the sense of mystery and wonder they inspire across galactic cultures. These different skin colors developed as natural adaptations to Ryloth's tough environment, where each region required its people to survive in different ways. Yet this remarkable beauty often came with painful consequences. Throughout history, Twi'leks were treated as objects of desire and even as prizes to be owned. Crime lords like Jabba the Hutt kept them as living trophies, while wealthy families in the core worlds bought them as ornamental servants. This widespread mistreatment created stereotypes that unfairly reduced an entire species to decorations. At the same time, this very exploitation shows how strongly their beauty influenced others. From Hutts to humans, from Sith to Jedi, every culture noticed and reacted to Twi'lek charm. This cross-species attraction points to something deeper than surface-level taste. It reveals fundamental truths about how beauty shapes the way beings across the galaxy think and feel. But appearance represents only the beginning of Twi'lek allure. Second, their lekku embody thousands of years of cultural sophistication. These twin headtails are much more than a unique physical feature. They act as living records of heritage, markers of social rank, and symbols that connect every Twi'lek to traditions passed down over thousands of years. In Twi'lek society, the length and shape of the lekku carry important meaning. Long, well-shaped headtails often show refinement, strong genetics, and family pride. Twi'leks spend great effort caring for them, decorating them with jewelry or ceremonial ornaments that turn biology into art. This cultural depth can be seen in the Kalikori, known as the sacred family totems that record ancestry. Every generation adds to them, making the Kalikori both a treasured heirloom and a symbol of status. Regional differences add even more variety. Mountain clans use metals in their ornaments to reflect mining traditions. Coastal groups prefer natural materials like carved coral. Desert communities decorate with precious stones and crystals. These styles create a visual language that instantly shows where a Twi'lek comes from and what community they belong to. But lekku are more than decoration. They also serve as tools for social communication. Observant Twi'leks can read someone's background, education, and family connections just by looking at how their lekku are styled. This makes them attractive not only for their appearance, but also for the culture and history they represent. Even more striking is how lekku preserve history. Some decorative patterns have remained unchanged for centuries, linking modern Twi'leks directly to their ancestors. This sense of continuity creates an image of timeless elegance that many other species find deeply appealing. Yet culture manifests most powerfully through movement itself. Third, Twi'leks are known for graceful movements that rise above ordinary skill and coordination. Their movements create a kind of visual poetry that captures the attention of people from every species. The lekku adds flowing rhythm to every gesture, reacting naturally to emotions and intentions in ways that make even motion feel real and full of meaning. This natural elegance is not something they have to practice. It is built into their very biology. The head tails are connected to large nerve networks that react automatically to feelings, causing small involuntary motions that reveal what the Twi'lek is feeling inside. This honesty in their body language cannot be faked, which builds both trust and emotional connection with anyone watching. The result is that even simple actions turn into something mesmerizing. Walking becomes a smooth, almost dance-like display. Reaching for an object forms an arc of graceful movement. Even small, unconscious gestures made during conversation hold the viewer's attention longer than those of most humanoid beings. Twi'lek dance raises this natural beauty to the level of art. Different regions developed their own styles. Coastal communities created flowing dances inspired by water, while mountain clans used sharp and precise movements in ceremonial performances. These dances carried many meanings at once. They told stories from history, taught lessons about morality, and celebrated the cycles of nature. Even during the Clone Wars, wary soldiers asked to see Twi'lek dances during rare moments of rest. For them, these performances offered hope and beauty in the middle of conflict. But this same gift also led to suffering. Ula's story shows how something sacred could be twisted into cruelty. She was trained in harvest dances meant to honor life and fertility, but as Jabba's slave, she was forced to perform for his court. When she resisted his advances, he threw her to the Rancor, destroying her beauty rather than respecting it. Her death shows the very qualities that make Twi'leks admired can also be used against them by those who see beauty as a possession instead of a gift. Movement, however, represents only one dimension of Twi'lek communication. Fourth, their mysterious nonverbal language creates irresistible intrigue. The secret to the Twi'lek mystery comes from their ability to communicate in ways other species can sense but never fully understand. This creates a natural fascination that draws people in while keeping a sense of the unknown. The lekku contains sensitive nerve tissue that extends brain function beyond the skull, turning them into organs capable of sending complex signals through small movements. A slight tilt can show emotion. A deliberate crossing can mean worry or disagreement. A quick twitch might signal excitement or fear. These cues often happen without conscious thought, creating a layer of communication that others find both strange and captivating. Skilled Twi'leks can turn this into an advanced silent language. Masters can hold entire conversations just through the position of their head tails, all while looking as though they are only shifting casually in place. This skill proves especially useful in trade and politics. Twi'lek negotiators often use hidden signals to coordinate with allies, leaving rivals confused about how they lost ground in a discussion. The mystery itself becomes part of the attraction. Many beings across the galaxy feel drawn to communication they cannot fully unlock. When they interact with Twi'leks, they sense extra layers of meaning just beyond their reach. Instead of being frustrated, most grow even more curious and engaged. Even Jedi notice this complexity. Ayla Secura, for example, showed how the Force could enhance rather than replace lekku language, adding more depth to her interactions. This ability impressed other Jedi and gave Twi'leks a reputation for insight and wisdom. This unique form of expression highlights the cultural richness that makes Twi'leks so appealing across the galaxy. Fifth, their culture was shaped by the harsh survival challenges of Ryloth. Twi'lek appeal goes beyond physical traits. It also comes from personality and values shaped over thousands of years of surviving one of the toughest planets in the galaxy. These survival-based qualities make them attractive for their strength of character, not just their looks. Ryloth, their homeworld, is full of extreme conditions. The planet is tidally locked, which means one side is always in burning sunlight while the other is trapped in freezing night. Only a thin strip between these zones, known as the Twilight Band, is livable. This narrow stretch is where Twi'lek cities and culture grew. Living in such a fragile space forced Twi'leks to depend on each other. No one could survive alone. Whole communities had to work together to build systems that could handle the harsh environment. Over time, this pressure shaped a culture built on teamwork, loyalty, empathy, and long-term thinking instead of selfishness or quick gain. These values became part of their natural appeal to other species. Twi'leks are known for their strong devotion to partners and causes they believe in. They show deep compassion, forged through shared struggle, and they place great importance on family bonds and passing traditions from one generation to the next. The Syndulla family shows this heritage clearly. Cham Syndulla used these values to lead his people during the dark days of imperial rule. He brought divided groups together and won allies across species by relying on trust and loyalty that Twi'lek culture had shaped for centuries. His daughter Hera carried those same values into the rebellion. Her bond with the Jedi Kanan Jarrus proved how Twi'lek's strengths could cross species lines. Together, they blended her planning and compassion with his combat skills, becoming stronger as a team than they ever could alone. Their son then became living proof that Twi'leks could form families across species. This showed that their appeal is not only about beauty, but also about true connection and resilience. However, these same attractive qualities can become dangerous when weaponized by those who understand their power. The dark side of Twi'lek appeal shows when their natural gifts are used for harmful purposes. Every quality that makes them admired, such as beauty, culture, graceful movement, unique communication, and emotional depth, can be twisted into tools of control and manipulation. The difference between male and female Twi'lek appeal helps explain this. Female Twi'leks are often exploited for their looks, while males usually gain respect through skill and leadership. Cham Syndulla, for example, inspired loyalty not by charm, but through his sharp tactics and ability to bring different groups together. His appeal came from trust and respect, not from being seen as a prize. But even positive traits can be turned to darker ends in the wrong hands. The clearest example of this is Darth Talon, a Sith who used her Twi'lek gifts to become one of the most dangerous figures in galactic history. Talon showed the full corruption of everything that makes Twi'leks appealing. Her rare red skin made her stand out even more, while her Sith tattoos displayed her rank and power. Her natural grace became a tool for seduction, used to break defenses and create weaknesses in her enemies. Her deep cultural knowledge became a way to manipulate the emotions and desires of those around her. The most dangerous part of her skill was how well she understood stereotypes about her species. Many people thought Twi'leks were either helpless victims or simple entertainers. Few imagined one could be a master planner who used psychological warfare. Talon took advantage of this blindness, dismantling her opponents from within before they even realized what was happening. She did more than trick individuals. She weaponized the very prejudices that had oppressed her people for centuries. By acting in ways others expected while secretly turning those expectations against them, she created deception so complete that many victims never understood how they had been defeated. This shows the darkest side of Twi'lek appeal, where every good trait is turned into its harmful opposite while still keeping the appearance of beauty. Looking at these 5 traits together, it's clear that Twi'leks are more than just beautiful. They are some of the most visually striking humanoids in the galaxy, alongside species like the Togruta. Their appeal goes beyond looks, combining culture, movement, and personality in ways that even fans think the creators designed to be captivating. Twi'leks show both the promise of real connections across differences and the danger of being treated as objects instead of respected individuals. Speaking of danger, no character better demonstrates this than Darth Talon. In the next video, we'll see how she turned every natural Twi'lek gift into a weapon, using beauty, grace, and cultural knowledge as tools of darkness that almost destroyed a Skywalker.